Hey there, everybody! Welcome to our evening edition of Big Brother 22 All Stars Live Feed Spoilers. This is the end of day 13. I'll be honest, I was not expecting as active as an evening as we've kind of gotten so far. I thought with the veto ceremony earlier, everyone would just kind of just chillax for a little while.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what was going to end up happening with all of this because it did really feel like Nicole Anthony was done, but
Is she? Well, okay, here's the thing. We'll have some vote debates that we'll sort of have in this video. We have tears from someone who never really shows tears. Also, more battle back speculation because what would Big Brother really be without it at this point? Before we dive into it though, if you guys like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more. Also, support us further by checking those links to our store where you can get shirts like this one and a lot more. And our Patreon. Thank you everyone who has signed up to that so far.
Okay, so Janelle was crying over Nicole Anthony that she can't get the votes together for her. She feels really helpless. She has really come to enjoy Nicole Anthony being around and was feeling really crappy about all this. And her and Kaysar were having this conversation back and forth about how they feel they let her down and that they just couldn't get the votes together. And then Janelle was crying. It was really sad.
It's so sad for so many reasons. It's like Janelle never really cries. Like maybe she's done it once in all of her time on Big Brother. I don't think she's a game bot, but she's just so like hardcore into the game. That's not an emotion she shows all that much. And then you add on top of it the irony that she's crying for someone who has also said all of this just smack talk about her and wanting to get her out. I can already imagine like the cuts that Big Brother is gonna do of Janelle crying in one room to Nicole Anthony being like, we gotta get rid of Janelle in the other.
I'm really curious actually to know if they are going to make those cuts because CBS really likes Nicole Anthony. She is a fan favorite. That might not be something that they'll show. I mean, we just watched this episode where they didn't show how, Memphis was kind of talking down to Christmas in that conversation. It was edited together completely differently.
It's true that there often is a difference between the experience of the live feeds and the experience on the show, and this is of course why I am so live feed biased a lot of time, because I feel like this is the real story of Big Brother.
I agree.
And I love this story, and it's fascinating seeing how all of this is going, because ultimately Nicole Anthony may want to claim that she wants to get them out, but she also kind of needs them in a very weird way at the moment.
Yeah, she does. It's actually very strange to me that she is so anti-Janelle and Kaysar. And but I feel like a lot of this is just coming from her relationship with Kevin, who is so anti-Janelle and Kaysar that it's just gotten into her brain, because Janelle and Kaysar haven't done anything for Nicole Anthony to feel this way. And I've seen a lot of you guys talking about it, like, oh man, Nicole Anthony's going to get out of this house and watch back the show and be like, man, I was wrong. I actually don't know if she's going to say that.
I don't know her well enough to know exactly what she's going to say. Like, I think she'll have some regrets ultimately, but I don't know if she's just going to look at it and try to move on, or if she's going to kind of say that the mood and the vibe in the house was a little bit different.
And it probably is for her.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, if everyone around you is sort of pointing to Janelle and Kaysar and being like, they're the boogeymen, you have to fear them, you have to hide. Of course, eventually you're going to get kind of like indoctrinated into that. I can't even say indoctrinated right.
Absolutely. And especially with Kevin being her like number one, who is just like, Janelle is the devil. That it's, yes, right? Then it's turning into this where Nicole's like, well, Kevin's saying this and Kevin's my number one and Kevin's not gonna lead me down the wrong path, then something's gotta be happening, and it's not.
Here's what Kevin is the equivalent of. I was playing Minecraft, and we were going through it yesterday.
Yes, we were.
I thought I knew where the location of this mesa was where I wanted some stuff
Yes,
from.
you did.
I spent like 45 minutes going there, and I have no idea where I was going. That is Kevin. Kevin has went like 50 minutes in search of this mesa that does not apparently actually exist.
At least you found a temple for me.
I found something. Kevin so far has found nothing other than just anger from BP Twitter over a lot of his moves.
Yeah, it's true.
And yeah, it ultimately, I don't know if there's any saving Nicole Anthony's game at the moment. There is a decision in there, though.
And it's weird, too, because Kevin is actually telling Nicole Anthony that Janelle and Kaysar campaigning for her is bad, that it could be bad for her, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He is really nervous about how close they're trying to get to her. It's got to be that. Like, I don't know what else it could be.
And it's a weird situation because I get that a lot of the house is against Janelle and Kaysar, but if they aren't campaigning for her, who is campaigning for her at that point? Like, the only other people we have contemplating it, maybe other than Kevin, who's just really loyal to her, is, you have Bailey and Davon sort of being unsure of their vote all of a sudden. It's like, I think they're still going to vote to keep David, but they're kind of having the typical, it's after the veto ceremony, would David really protect us? Is this really the right move to make? They're going through those emotions right now.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, Davon is having a lot more talks with Nicole Anthony, and Nicole Anthony's having a real hard time with this, and they're bonding. So, yeah, this makes sense.
And I think Davon's spot in all this is so fascinating because I think Davon really likes both of them, and I think she, in an ideal world, would like to have both of them around, and I think she's trying her best to make Nicole Anthony feel okay in the event that she does get evicted, and I think Nicole Anthony believes at this point that she probably will, which is why I think Davon says the following, and we're opening back up the Battle Bat can of worms, everyone, so brace yourselves.
All right.
She talked a little bit to her tonight about how I think there's a battle back. I feel confident about it because I heard Janelle say this, and it's alluding to what we said last week about Janelle supposedly being told that she wouldn't be going home to her family until September, that this is proof there's a battle back.
Okay, and we will link the video below because we went over sort of all the different options there are, because Janelle not going back to her family right away, there are a lot of options that it could be. It's not only a battle back. It could be a battle back. It could be about the health crisis that maybe they're keeping people just in case, or to go through quarantine again before they go home. It could be that it's like Survivor Winners at War and it's a full out jury of peers. There are other options, including that maybe Janelle is lying.
That is one that I don't even think we've given enough credence to. Is this, what if Janelle just totally made the whole thing up last week? And she just did this because she was afraid people were going to get rid of her.
Yeah, because I find it also very curious that that type of information wouldn't be told to everybody, to be honest. I mean, there's that idea that, Janelle pulled it out of the producers, but I don't know why anyone would need to have that pulled out of them. That seems like information that the producers would need to tell them, to be like, listen, if you get, eliminated week 1, you don't get to just go straight home to your family. We are keeping you for this amount of time. So make sure arrangements are going to be around for the just in case. Why wouldn't they tell them? Why wouldn't they tell everybody? It's super strange.
I tried to do a little bit of, I don't have a detective cap, so I'm just going to grab the metaphorical magnifying glass here.
I like it.
Okay, so I did some detective work on Keisha's social media profiles going into this.
Matt is really good at this.
Okay, I don't know if good is the right word, but
he's being modest.
I tried to do some digging on it, and here's what I know. Keisha did exit press last week. It seems as though it was pretty unfiltered exit press where her questions weren't thoroughly screened or whatever else. She has posted on Instagram, on Twitter. Is it theoretically possible that someone is tweeting and Instagramming for her? Sure. Have we seen Nicole Anthony try some really big shenanigans to convince people that she was not on this season?
Yes.
Yes, the only way that I could see there still being a sequester and a battle back is if they decided they were okay with house guests having some spoilers from the outside world, and then we have sort of like a Big Brother 3 situation all over again, where that impacts the game, and I don't think they want that.
No, and as a watcher, I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. I want my game to be more pure than that. I don't want people having outside information and then coming back into the game. I'm not interested in seeing it.
If I'm wrong and there is a battle back, I will take a big ol' heaping of L on this channel. It's just, I just feel like Janelle kind of made it up, and I don't know why. That's just the funniest outcome of it.
Yeah, and it really was something that we hadn't considered in the other interview. It was like, seriously, right before this video, Matt just came up to me and was just like, what if she's lying? It's like, she probably is. What a brilliant move.
Davon's gonna feel so bad now after the fact when she realizes later on there's no battle back and she's just told Nicole Anthony, don't worry, I'm sure you're gonna have a chance to come back into the game.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on a battle back happening yet. There are too many other options, including the lying option, but also the health crisis. I mean, I could easily see it being something like, listen, you're going to be quarantined for another 14 days before you go back.
Let's get into a pie in the sky hope, because we started today with the idea of what if Davon and Bailey work with Janelle and Kaysar. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yes.
Now we have what if Ian and Kaysar actually work together. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't this be fun?
Yes, it would.
Okay, so here's the parameters of the deal that they have struck. Ian and Kaysar was basically like to Ian, if I can do everything in my power to get you to the second half of the game, which Ian seems very concerned about, will you want to work together? And Ian said yes. Now, I don't know how Kaysar can really guarantee this to Ian.
He can do what he can. Like, he's not like, let me carry you to the middle, but it kind of felt a little more like, I'm going to do everything within my power, that if I'm in power, I'll keep you safe, or if I have votes to keep you safe, I'll keep you safe. He's going to do what he can to get him to that middle. So if Kaysar is in that position and he does the right thing by Ian, then Ian will see that. And then that has proven to Ian that, yeah, let's work together.
And I think it's good for Ian to try to find something else, because Ian's alliance circle is basically just a circle with Nicole F's name written on it at the moment.
Yeah, he needs more allies. He really does.
He's going to have to learn how to balance this, because if he does work with Kaysar, and by extension, if Janelle, Kaysar, Ian, Bailey, and Davon, like if they find a way to be a 5-person group, what does Ian do if they want something very different than what Nicole F wants? Then he gets in a position where he ends up betraying someone.
He may be thinking, and this is just me throwing it out there, but he may be thinking that Nicole F will be gone by the middle of the game. Like, I know he wants Nicole F to be at the end with him because he feels that only a winner's going to beat a winner. I agree with him. I think that is the case. But I think he also kind of knows that there are people that are gunning for him, obviously, and he needs to be more insulated. And if he can't bring her to the end, then he's got to have those extra numbers. But there are people that are gunning for Nicole F too. So there is a possibility she is just not going to make it past the middle part of the game. And I think he's just kind of looking out a little bit in just that case.
I think this is why I'm enamored by the idea of Kaysar and Ian working together, is that typically you get like the really smart people on anything. They always are intimidated by each other, and it's like, it's sort of like the bros that are like, I want to be the broiest, I want to be the strongest.
Is that what bros are like?
I'm not a very good knowledge base on bros.
Me neither.
I gotta be honest. I think I had like one friend who was on the high school football teams. That's about as close as I come.
That's more bros than I know.
Well, so I think it's sort of like that. You want to be the smartest, and I thought they're both so smart, and they know each other are so smart that they would never want to work together. But if they combine their powers, Captain Planet style, and try to just dominate this house, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome. I would love that. And I just like that the game is actually sort of shifting this early on, because the past few seasons we really have just had this big broy alliance that just dominates week after week after week after week, and then by the time we get to the other side of the house there's like 2 people left. But that's not really happening, because Memphis got into power and he was just like, I do what I want when I want, and that's what happened, and it was really weird, and now things are fracturing. It's exciting times.
With that, I have a project, I think, for everyone in the comments, and that is, give me your Kaysar Ian alliance names. Now, I know that this is not at a firm alliance name level. Let's not get too excited yet, but I want some really good names here. Give me your ideas. Also, what do you think about Janelle's tears? Everything in Big Brother 22 today. It does seem like David's probably staying over Nicole, but what do you want to see happen?
It's early.
It is early. Let us know, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe. Support us further by checking those links in the description to the store, to our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.